Guess what time it is? Mama's story time. Yay! Boo. Hi, my darlings. How are you today? I've missed you. I just got back from Auckland. I went with Auntie Maddie and Auntie Lily. We went to Auckland for the night to see Auntie Hannah. I don't know if you've met Hannah, but she's lovely. We went to stay down there for the night. But now it's time to read a story. And we've got another Christmas story today. Yeah? Because something else happens exciting at Christmas. Santa comes. Have you heard about Santa? Yeah? Well, Santa, let me tell you, brings presents on Christmas Eve to all the good children in the world. And I think that you two qualify. You three qualify. Because I know, David, you're a very good boy sometimes and you're very kind to your sister and your baby brother, aren't you? Yeah? And Sarah, I know you listen to your mum and dad. Yeah? You're a very good listener and you help with Corby. Yeah. And I know Corby's a very good baby and he lets mummy have sleep. So I'm sure Santa's watching and he's thinking, you know what? I'm going to go down and see those Jenkins kids and I am going to leave some presents for them on Christmas Eve. Did you know that? He's going to come and leave them under the tree. Exciting. Okay, let's get into our story. I haven't heard of this one before. This one's called Who's That Knocking on Christmas Eve? Who's that knocking? It's a polar bear. Let's read it. High above the Arctic Circle in the land of ice and snow, the northern lights shimmer in the night like a curtain of colour hanging from the sky. Look at all these lights up here in the sky. There's a polar bear. Looks like some reindeer over here. Looks cold there. Snow. Not like where you live. The air, can you see the picture? The air is so crisp and clear in this northern place that one Christmas Eve long ago, a boy from Finnmark on his way to Oslo with his ice bear could see smoke curling up from a hut far in the distance. There's a hut, smoke coming out the chimney. He was cold and hungry, so he headed towards it. Far off in another direction, someone else smelled the smoke, and even though he couldn't see it, he raced off to tell the others. Oh, what's this little fella up here? He's a strange looking little thing, isn't he? As the boy from Finnmark made his way towards the hut, Kyrie was inside feeding the fire that made the smoke that roasted and baked the fine food. Delicious sausages and fish and tasty buns and cakes were all laid out, making a nice big meal, all laid out on a pine table. Sweet porridge bubbled over the fire and apple cider stayed cool on the windowsill. So why did Kyrie jump at every creak in the sod roof? And why did she run to the window when an icicle fell into the snow? What's she scared of? What's she worried about? What's these little ones up here? Oh, I wonder what's going on. She looks worried, doesn't she? She looks a little bit frightened. It was because in years past on Christmas Eve, Trolls came when they smelled the delicious aromas coming from the hut. The trolls can smell the cooking. They would pound on the door, bang, 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 until it burst open, and they wouldn't leave until they had eaten up every bit of the Christmas Eve meal. Well, how rude. Look at these rude trolls. Man. No troll invasion this year, Kyrie's father had said. I'm going up the mountain to watch and chase them away. And off he had gone to stop the trouble before it began. Look, he's going off. He's going to look for the trolls. As soon as he sees them, he's going to scare them away. So this year, Kyrie was alone in the hut when she heard a soft sound at the door. Knockety knock, knockety knock. Someone was out there, but surely it was too polite a knock for it to be a troll. Kyrie went to the door and peeked out. And who's there? This boy and his bear. Yeah, they're knocking on the door. There was the boy from Finnmark with his ice bear. Please let me inside to warm up, he said. I'm on my way south to show off my beer for the townsfolk of Oslo. I've many frosty miles behind me and many more to go. He's just cold and hungry, just wants a rest. She's peeking out the door. Look, she's peeking out. Who's out there? Come in, Kyrie said, but I have to warn you that in years past, our house has been invaded by a pack of hungry trolls. Trolls would be a welcome adventure, the boy said. So he came in, and the ice bear crawled under the warm stove and fell asleep. He must be tired, that bear. Kyrie and the boy had just settled down in front of the fire when they heard, not so softly this time, knockety knock, knockety knock. There's no one home, the boy called out. He was certain it was trolls, so he pushed the big chest in front of the door. Look, he's pushed that right in front of the door so the trolls can't come inside. When all was quiet, Kyrie and the boy sat down in front of the fire again. Kyrie got to thinking, I wonder if the porridge is creamy enough. And she ladled a bit of it into bowls for each of them. Oh, and some nice warm porridge. They had just raised their bowls when they heard a loud knockety knock, knockety knock. It was as if someone was pounding on the door with a big rock. There's no one at home, the boy from Finnmark shouted, and he ran to lock all the windows. I wonder who's out there knocking on the door. Oh my goodness. It was quiet again, but the delicious smells wafted around the hut. Kyrie got to thinking, is the sausage salty enough? She took a piece for herself and gave one to the boy. They had just raised their forks when they heard a thunderous knockety knock, knockety knock. The hut shook and they heard a loud crack. It was the cellar trapdoor splintering open. Kyrie and the boy ran into the animal shed and pulled the door shut just as a torrent of noisy trolls burst up from the cellar. Look at them. Oh no, what happened? Come to eat all the food. Oh man. There were bat-eared trolls, there were bug-nosed trolls, and each troll was wilder and more raucous than the one before. They munched and grunted, shrieked and cackled, splashed the cider and crammed themselves with Christmas cakes. Oh man, how rude. Then, when they were through stuffing themselves, they tumbled about, pinching each other, stamping on one another's toes and tweaking their long snouts, which is how trolls have a good time. They're strange. Look at them. Look at his big nose. Ooh. But through the ruckus and the din, the littlest troll spied the ice bear under the stove. Oh, look. He took the hot morsel of sausage he had been roasting in the fire and screeched, "Have a bit of sausage, kitty." And he poked the sleeping bear's nose with it. What do you think's going to happen? What's the bear going to do? Oh, the ice bear leaped up with a tremendous roar, his nose burning terribly. Growling, he chased the little troll and all the big trolls around the table, up the walls and out the windows. Scratch them, kitty. Look, he's getting rid of them. Good, eh? Kyrie and the boy cheered, yay, as they watched the trolls scramble off through the ice and snow, howling. Look, yay! Up on the hill, Kyrie's father heard the shouts, so he raced down on his skis. He's skiing down the mountain back to the hut. When he saw the trolls, Kyrie's father could tell in an instant that they wanted to be as far away from the little hut as they could be. "Goodbye, trolls," he shouted as they disappeared up the mountain, and he skied home. "What a fine bear you have," he told the boy from Finnmark. "Thank you for scaring away those pesky trolls. You must come back next year for a real Christmas Eve feast on your way home from Oslo." And they all sat down for some porridge. A year later, Kyrie was on the mountain gathering wood to make the fire to cook their dinner for Christmas Eve when the littlest troll popped out from behind a snowbank. Oh, there he is. "Missy," he called in a high crackly voice, "do you still have that kitty that sleeps under the stove?" "Oh, yes, I do," Kyrie said. "Only she has grown up into a big cat now, and she has 7 kittens, all larger and fiercer than herself." Do you think the trolls will come back? I don't think so. "Ooh," he screeched, "then we won't be visiting your hut on Christmas Eve." And he disappeared into a huge snowdrift. Did you like that one? A nice big bear scared off all those pesky trolls. Who's that knocking on Christmas Eve? It was a cool one, wasn't it? So, what did you guys do today? You doing exciting things? Are you in the Gold Coast? I think you might be on your little holiday today. Okay, well, from me and Mr. Santa Bear, say bye. See ya. Have a lovely time on your holiday, and we will talk to you maybe tomorrow. Yeah, send Mama some photos. I miss you guys. I love you very much. And remember, be good for Mum and Dad. And what? Kind to each other. I love you. Bye-bye.